It's great to be with you today. I'm in Zambia today, start my tour tomorrow. I've asked Ashley if she would graciously host today since my connection here is so weak, and she's a fabulous host. So, Nevin, hello, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today.
Hi, thank you for inviting me.
It's a pleasure. It's a
Yeah.
pleasure. Thank you, Anthony. And I think
We
we'll
are couldn't be.
one more time.
I think someone's mic is on. Let me just quickly check. Okay, you're good now, Ashley and John.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask Ashley to take over, and I'm going to watch since I know I'm going to get cut off. Great to meet you, Nevin. Thank you so much to see you again.
Good to see you again as well, and take care.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. I'm so excited that John could come and say hi. We've missed you quite a bit. So
Thank you.
I'll speak for everybody when I say we're glad to see you.
Thank you.
So today we have a wonderful artist, Navin from Thailand. I keep having to look that up to make sure I say the right thing. Navin is an amazing artist. He does a lot of floral work. And so we're going to be seeing a slideshow from him. But first, I just want to say welcome, Navin. Welcome, everybody. We're so glad you're here.
Hi, thank you everyone for attending this session. I'm so pleased and I'm so appreciative.
Oh, we're so grateful that you said yes to join us. So Ethel has prepared a slideshow, I believe. As we
Yes.
go through the images, can you just describe a little bit about them for us?
Okay, let me put the slideshow. Please bear with me today. Our partners, the wonderful couple, Gio and Letty, are in an event in Fabriano. So I'm like trying to multitask, keeping my eye on the guests in the waiting room as well. Okay, here we go. Let me do the share. Okay, love that picture, Navin. Love that smile there. Um, as usual, we encourage our friends in Zoom to follow our guest artists on their socials. Navin is very, very active in both Facebook. This is his handle, and of course Instagram as well. And I'm gonna Ashley invite you to facilitate the next parts. Okay.
All right. This is
Navin?
beautiful floral. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit about this?
So this piece, I this this flower, the Thai name is called Salau, and it normally blooms during summer. Even though the original the color of it, it's quite like pinkish. But I'm the one who's so obsessed with color. I keep collecting color palette from environment that I from everywhere that I've been, and then I collect them. Sometimes I have this color palette, and it could match with the flower, the photo that I take, and then I just marry them. And the process of, can you go back to that painting a little bit? I just want to show quickly. I didn't just match them or marry them through just my imagination, but the experimentation here. It's so you can see the screen on my sketches, right?
Yeah, our friends can, or we could quickly show. Oh, I think our friends could refer to Navin's frame. I think just so we could appreciate Navin's process, I could stop the slideshow first and then spotlight the top camera.
Yeah. So
And
this is the painting. This is the color palette that I have. this is where I start to do this painting. And then I have curiosity, what kind of paint that can create that particular color, and I go through those those testing, and then value study here. And the next part is once I develop and get the right value version, and then I convert it into the color version here. And then in terms of the idea of doing these sketches is to build my confidence enough to start. I don't aim to have a perfect sketch because there's no perfect sketch. Yeah, so I just try to build my confidence, try to reduce any distraction when I actually paint it. So once I have the complete sketch versions here, since I haven't been painted this flower before, then I try some technique in the very small scale first, and then I go on the actual piece. And many times I fail, and I have to do like 2 or 3 pieces, and then to get the one that I like. But this one, fortunately, I completed it in one go.
Okay, so we're back to the slides.
This one, it's another flower, a local flower from Thailand. It's called like yellow trumpet because the form of the flower, it's like a little trumpet. We have many many trees that has this kind of shape but different color. Yeah, so it's from my impression when it's blooming, and then I just want to capture like this beautiful moment. And yay, this is the one that I'm gonna show you the process. This is white orchid. But the specific name is dendrobium. It's a very common orchid that you can find in Thailand. Yeah, and this one, it's quite interesting for me. It can be my turning point that I incorporate under painting, which is the very classic oil painting. The size is full imperial, 56 by 76 cm, and I use Arche. Yeah. So again, like I can see the word ethereal. I can see this word from the actual reference as well. So again, I want to convey that this impression. Yeah, I love orchids. Because my teacher taught me every time that we create an art piece, we should create from our understanding, from knowledge, rather than just only from what we see. Because sometimes you need to do Photoshop in your mind, adjust the color, create some effect. Yeah, so if I understand this subject, I can create to make it match to what I feel. And this is the example that I have the feeling, very strong feeling. It's very energetic. Yeah, and quite powerful from what I can capture from this orchid. And I just want to express it.
Wow, this
This is the
incredible.
latest one. And this is quite interesting because I haven't painted flowers, I think 3 years already, because my interest has shifted to abstract. But there was an exhibition in Thailand, and they invite me. They invite me to participate in that exhibition, and in that province, there is a specific roses that represent that province in Thailand, which is this one. Yeah, so I just want to paint something related and connected to the local culture there. So this is why I choose roses and paint it with different point of view. Mm.
Oh, thank you
But
for
by the
that.
way, I can see like messages from the chat, so I'm so thankful.
Oh my gosh. Well, I can speak for everybody when I say I'm excited to see your process and kind of understand the word that keeps coming up in chat is ethereal. I mean, these florals are just stunning.
Thank you.
Anna Marie will be in Facebook. She's graciously agreed to bring questions over. And so we'll ask questions throughout as we feel appropriate. So everybody, if you have a question, pop it in the chat, either in Zoom or Facebook, and we'll go from there. So Navin, you're welcome to get started.
Yeah. Before I start doing my painting, I want to show you the whole process that since the very first step, because I'm an educator as well, so everyone's learning is the most important for me. Um, so from the material that I use, the paper, we all know that the paper in watercolor is the most important material. So I invest in the paper. The paper that I use is Archie 300 gram and rough. Even though my painting is quite detailed, but I can't lose this beautiful granulation. So I try to find the right tool, develop my skill to get like the finesse, the delication, rather than choosing cold press or hot press. And then brushes. Recently, I normally use calligraphy brushes. Sorry, I need to take my AirPod off. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can still hear you.
Because I can see some echo from my AirPod. So yeah, I need to take it off.
Okay.
For the brushes, I recently use calligraphy brushes because for me it's quite unpredictable and versatile. Sometimes when you press, it gives you some unpredictable marks, which is for me is so charming. And I love this kind of nature of this kind of brushes, and also the brush itself, it contains a lot of water. And
Oh,
at the same time, if I shape the bristle, it can gives me the very sharp and fine round brush at the same time. So for me, it's pretty versatile. Okay, and the paint that I use, this is the color that I use for this painting. And one paint that I want to point it out, which is Mayan Violet here. This one, from what I've learned from this paint, it's granulated, but the granulation from Mayan Violet, it's pretty unique. It's not that heavy like blue paint or the paint that made from mineral. And when it combines with my mark, sometimes I love doing something like this. It's kind of gently rub it with this brush. At the end, it gives the texture of velvety texture. It's just an happy accident that happens. At first, it wasn't my intention, but when it happened, yeah, it's a serendipity. Yeah, so and also another paint that plays an important role for this painting, which is raw sienna. This one, because you see this one, I prepared the first layer. I incorporate underpainting, which is an oil painting technique, because I have the question why, when we do watercolor, why we have to start from completely white paper all the time. So I went for my experimentation here. here. I try to coat the first layer with different type of brown paint, and to paint, like, this is my teacup, my lovely teacup. I just want to paint it and to see how it happens when I cover the whiteness from paper. And from what I found, it does work. I love it so much. But when I want to paint flowers, again, I need to test it. So once I have the color palette, I have my paints, I have my materials. Again, this is the color palette that I can capture from my day-to-day life. And then I want to marry this color palette and this image. Okay, but there's so many question and uncertainty in my mind that I need to figure it out before I go on my actual paint. So the second page here, I want to know what kind of consistency for the first layer of this brown paint I should I should add. And when I cover the background with this lavender color, what will happen? Then I test this part first, and then just keep developing until I get the idea of the consistency, the right consistency that I should use for the first layer. And this is the sketch of my first layer. And then the second one here, I try to incorporate that color palette into this orchid image to create this painting. And again, same idea. Before I go on the actual paint, I want to know how the saturation of color faded in different part of my painting. You see, the whole idea is just for these sketches, you just needed to build your confidence before you start, because as we know, the paper is quite expensive. I can't like lose 100 sheets to get the right one. So I keep it small, and I let my curiosity guide me. It's so much fun. We all have a little shy, a little young version of ourselves inside us, in our heart. Just let that young version of ourselves just let it come out. And this is the playground. Okay. And the number of sketches, it depends on your personality, your working process, because some people, they might need to make like 100 sketches to build that confidence. Some people, they might need just one page. It depends, but you need to do it. Art is about doing. Even though you know a lot of things, but without doing it, without practicing, you're not gonna get like the in-depth understanding of yourself. So for me, this is my previous version, let's say, that this is my working process, how I build confidence before I start. And then on each painting, to be honest, each piece I spend at least 4 to 5 hours per piece. But today we have only like less than an hour. So forgive me. I did my first layer because it takes time to dry. But don't worry, the technique that I use on this layer, I will show you when I do the background, the blue background at the end. Okay, so you're not gonna lose any technical experience from this painting. But this paper is already stretched because I want to have the smoothness, like the complete smoothness on my painting, and I use a lot of water, like I flood it, so that's why I need to stretch it. Okay, so to start this painting, after I prepare the first layer, I'm gonna do the white part of these bunches of orchid first, and then once the paper becomes a little bit drier, then I will work on the petals. Okay, yeah. So apologize if I am not responsive to the messages when I'm doing the painting. Okay, so the
That's
very
totally fine. We've got you.
Thank you.
Not to worry about it.
So, one tip that I've learned from an Thai artist named Direk Gingnok, he always put some like silver or gold into the water container here. So I applied that technique as well. But for me, from my testing, this book here, I test all like the glitter paints that give me, and I found that they lack of depth. But when I try the paint, the Primatech series from Daniel Smith, there are two paints that I normally use to create glitter effect. The first one is bronzite here, bronzite genuine, and another one is kyanite. I use bronzite, sorry, with this one. Yeah, I use this one for the painting that has warm color, like feeling warm. I use this one. I get the paint straight from the tube and put it in the water container. Because when the painting finish, in terms of reflection from the light from different angle, when you see the actual painting and change the distance between yourself and the painting, you're gonna see this glitter in your eyes from some angle. It gives some kind of another depth of value on my painting as well. This is just a little tip. And then my water is ready. I'm gonna use Hage brush, which is an animal fur, and it contains a lot of water. For me, this stage is pretty crucial because when you work with water and paper, now there's a limitation of working time, and also the where you place the light. It's also important because it's gonna give you to be able to see the reflection on the paper, and the reflection, this is the indicator to tell you how much water that you have on the surface. This experience I've learned from Ewa Kapinska from her book. I haven't met her in person, but from her book, it's so important to see the reflection all the time. Okay, so this one, I'm not sure on, yeah, it's quite reflective. It means there's a lot of water. Okay, and then I'm gonna move to, sorry, I forgot the Japanese name of this brush, but it's the connected round brushes together. Okay, and then I'm gonna mix raw sienna and French ultramarine to get gray color, because this is gonna be the color that I'm gonna add it on the shadow.
Excuse me, really quick. Whose book did you mention? We didn't catch the name.
Pardon?
Whose book did you mention earlier? We didn't
Um,
catch the name.
Ewa Kapinska, Ewa Kapinska, EWA, Ewa, and Kapinska, Karpinska.
Got it. Thank you.
Highly recommended. If you can find, highly recommended to purchase.
Oh, we love a good book recommendation
Yeah.
around here. Thank you.
I'm a book lover.
Yeah, we're here for it. By the way, there's a lot of comments saying what a great teacher you are. And I believe one of your students is in the chat as well.
Ooh, thank you
See,
for
Aunt
attending.
Wellness Wisdom.
Ah,
She said, 3 hours of studying with him, it gives me lots of inspiration to explore on my own.
Well, thank you. I'm gonna start from this part first because it's not my focal point, and then I want to see how it faded, and it will tell me how much I should emphasize to my focal point here. And now I'm standing because I'm working with the overall picture rather than the detail. So if I sit, I can't see the whole picture. And this is quite psychological for the human being. We see the whole picture before detail, like always. Now here I start to add more blue. So you're gonna see how this gray color transit from brownish to bluish gray, because at the end here from my plan, we're gonna have more blue here and white object. It's very sensitive and easily to catch the color in the environment. So this is another tip. If you paint, if you paint any white object and you struggle with using or choosing the color to create the shadow, just use the color that you use for the background. If your background is green, just use green. But not that like colorful green. And then I'm gonna move towards here. Now in my working station now, I have the light comes from the top and in front of me. This is the angle that I'm gonna, it allows me to see the reflection all the time. So from the chat, you the the word ethereal comes very often, right? So for your piece, if you want to create some smoothness in your own watercolor painting, so water is the key. If you want to have the smoothness, softness, you need to have water. And also water, the nature of it is uncertainty. So you see, when I'm painting, I paint necessarily only because sometimes when I over paint it, I'm gonna lose the actual characteristic of the paint as well. So just be mindful. Just don't try to not overpaint your painting. So now I'm gonna start to work on more details, and my paper it's still damp. And I know now I'm still needing the softness. So I can see some part it's too dry. but it's still in the stage that can be added water. I use very fine mist spray bottle. And when I spray, I don't spray directly to the painting. I spray like a little bit on top and let the drops of water just fall. In this way, it won't disturb the how the paint bleeds. And this is my focal point. And another tip is just go back when I mentioned about working from the overall picture first. Now, I don't see an individual orchid. I see like an oval or an egg here, because now the light comes from top right. So that is why around this area, there's more whiteness more than this part, you see, and the shadow, it has the shadow on the bottom left. So this is quite important as well. Like when you build a house, you're not choosing the color of your curtain before you have the floor plan of your house. Same is the same idea. And then now I'm gonna work on the petal. So the idea is the color here is gonna be quite dull and desaturated because this is not my focal point. My focal point is here. So I use raw sienna and lavender mixed together to create kind of like grayness, and then add Mayan violet to add a little bit of hint. And you see like this behavior, like just gently touch it from this brush. It gives me the velvety texture by accident, like I mentioned before.
Excuse me, Navin, can you show us more from this happy accident?
The happy accident?
The paper near on the camera?
Sure.
Ah, okay.
And then now the paper is damp, and then you see the shape of my brush. It's flat because I tape it, and then just gently touch like this. Can you see it? If you can't see it, just let me know. It's like
you have a wonderful brush control.
Semi painting, semi drawing. And here, this part, I don't give a lot of detail because
Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Because it's not my focal point. But one thing that you need to have like always is the right value. When I travel and meet other artists, they speak at the same thing. They emphasize at the same thing, that value is the backbone of your work, of visual artwork. It doesn't matter you do printmaking, you do painting, but value is the key, because value, it creates depth into your piece. If you lack of value, you're gonna lack of depth as well. So my suggestion is you should have like light, mid, and dark tone. But your light tone, my light tone might be different. Thinking about the sunny day, the light tone, it's so high. The contrast of value is so high. But in the rainy day, it's pretty gray. So it gives different mood, different feeling. So now it's your choice whether which kind of feeling that you want to convey through your painting. But it should have three value structure.
Svetlana has a question about your brush. Would you say that it is a hard, soft, or combination brush?
The bristle? You mean the
Yeah,
bristle?
that one. Yeah, the bristles, are they soft?
This one is Kolinsky. It's soft but stiff. It's well balanced.
Good answer.
Again, highly recommended this one. I got it from a shop called Pigment in Tokyo. If you can find this one, I like highly recommend it. I'm a material lover as well. When I had my full-time job, half of my salary goes into the materials.
It's an investment.
Yeah, educational investment. And sometimes for some stroke recently that I love is I just want to make it like it's melting, even though this is the shape of the petal, but imagine if like there's some wind or breeze, gently breeze. You can like kind of gently drag your brush to create this kind of effect. But this is a personal aesthetic. Now you see the color, it's more saturated, and the contrast of the value is increased as well. And another tip when you paint, according to see about seeing the overall picture, I suggest you to squint your eyes, or just look and see your painting from the distance, to see the foundation of your painting, and you will see how each element unified.
I noticed that you're standing up to paint. Is that how you usually paint?
Yeah. In every size that I work, from like this small or even bigger, when I do the first or the second layer, I have to stand. When I work on detail like this, I'm sitting down.
Amazing. Which color are you currently using?
Now I'm using Perylene Violet, mainly because this part here, they are in the shadow. So I'm not using Mayan Violet yet because it's gonna be too vivid for the shadow. So you see from here, it's very less violet, like very less, maybe just 5% or less. And then it increased it to here and then here. So this is how I compose the elements. So for me, in terms of creating focal point or hierarchy in my painting, I consider many aspects. The first aspect is about the contrast of the value. For the focal point, it should contain very high contrast of value and then reduced to the background. And another technique, another aspect is the sharpness. So from here, this is so far away, so it's so blurred. But this part, it's sharper than here. That's the second aspect. Another aspect is about the saturation of color. So here it's going to be grayish color, and then it becomes more vivid here. Now I'm gonna move to here. I'm gonna add more blue into this violet because at the end, the background around here is gonna be more blue. So I always think about the connection between the elements. It's like if you wear a white t-shirt, and hold an apple next to close to your t-shirt, you're gonna see red reflection on your shirt. It's the same idea. And this is how I unify the color on my piece as well. Because sometimes I don't have just one object. Now, like for example, like in this case, there's so many elements in here. But if I place like bluish orchid here, which surrounded by brownish background, it doesn't look coherent. And now you might have a question about how I get this kind of logic or the way to create hierarchy. It's about experience. So when in my class, I normally teach two important things to that influence into your own practice. First is about your input. You need to see a lot of artwork, like a lot, because it will teach you the possibility how you can utilize watercolor in different way. Like it's the endless. The more you see, the more tools that you have that you can put into your own painting. But when you have a lot of input, it's gonna be it's gonna be it's not going to be useful if you don't practice. So when you see a lot of things, you need to practice as well. So again, since I mentioned this when we first start, art is about practicing. At the end of the day, it needs to come back to your own practice. The more you practice, the more skillful that you're going to have. When I first start doing watercolor, to be honest, it was a mandatory subject when I was in the university. And at that time, I love doing printmaking. I love doing oil painting, which is controllable. And I put that mindset into watercolor, which doesn't fit, but I wasn't aware of it. And that's why I started this journey with the unpleasant experience. I hate watercolor. But when my turning point was when I was in the very last semester before my graduation, I met an inspiring artist. She told me, her name is Sirirat Sileung. She told me that, oh, Navin, if you want to work with watercolor, you have to work with it. And at that time, at that age, I didn't understand. What do you mean? Working with it? And I create one piece. It's a painting of roses. It's not an assignment, it's not an homework. I just did for my pleasure. And then when I paint, I just keep spraying and then just observe the beauty, what's happening in front of me. And that moment, it's so satisfying. You're not aware of the surrounded environment at all. And then the week after, I showed that painting to her. She told me that, oh, this is a good piece, and we'll see when you do like 10, when you do 100 pieces, uh, it means I can do watercolor. But even though this is a good painting, but it needs to be developed. I need to do more practices. So yeah, it's just a little story that might be helpful for you when you when you struggle with watercolor like me. At first, I didn't allow myself to fail, but when I gain more experience, I meet a lot of artists. They fail a lot. They have so many, like tons of failed pieces. So and that's the key. And another turning point, I saw one post of Cheng Chung Wei. a Taiwanese artist. He posts his room full of artwork, and when I zoom, they like amazing artworks. But when I translate what he posts, those pieces are his failed pieces. Then I realized that, oh, that is why he can be at that top level, because of the amount of his practices. Yeah, so I'm the one who believe in discipline more than the talent. If we have the talent, that's the gift. That's a good thing. Talent is a good thing anyway, but it's gonna be useless if you don't practice. You see, again, practice, it's the most important thing.
Navin, that is the best advice I've heard all day. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Really quick, just a time check. We've got about 8 minutes left, but you can go ahead and go for another 10 minutes beyond that. So
Yeah.
you have about 18 minutes.
Thank you.
We would sit here all day if we could. Honestly, this is amazing.
So you see now, this petal, it's the highest contrast of the value, and this is how I emphasize it. Okay, and then now I'm gonna move to the background. Just that you know, this is like the simplified version of my process, of my working process according to the time. Now, in terms of the background, you're gonna see the phenomenon when I add lavender on top of raw sienna. So now I'm gonna start from here with the very dilute lavender. And when you say it looks ethereal, so this is the moment, I know the paint will bleed, right? But my experience as I work with this paint like many, many years, I know its behavior. I know when I paint, I apply this consistency of this paint, it will bleed like this length. But when you do it on your own piece, you can keep it far from your object, just to be safe. Because some paint, it bleeds quite aggressively. So again, you need to work on that. You need to test the behavior of them. So now I'm working on the big area before I go into the corners, and the consistency of the lavender, it becomes thicker. And you see how I hold the brush? I often rotate the brush to get some corner, but when I work on the huge area like this, I keep it flat. And now you see some strokes here. If you don't want it, you just gently spray, just gently. and then you tilt the board. Then you see the stroke, it's gone. And some case, if the paint bleeds into the area by accident, you can use a dry brush and then you can lift it. And when I lift, there's some tips. This is paper. My hand is paper. I lift it like this, like a U shape, U stroke here. So it's gonna gently lift your paint rather than take the too much paint at one stroke. Now you see the orchid, this part with the bluish shadow, it looks coherent with this environment. Now I'm gonna do some details just to emphasize the sharpness here. And in terms of the color bleeding, I've learned from Cheng Shung Wei as well. He mentioned that when you use any paint that contains white, it's gonna stabilize every paint that you have. It's gonna bleed like equally. And then now the shadow is too light a little bit, but my paper is still quite wet. Then I can go back to add some value. How much time that I have left? Sorry.
We could
Sorry, I
go
couldn't get
on.
my.
Go ahead, Ashley.
No, I was just gonna say you have about 12 minutes. Well, what were we
Oh,
gonna
okay.
say? Yeah,
Okay.
about 11 minutes.
Thank you.
I couldn't get to my mute button quick enough.
Thank you. And another tip, in terms of the value of your foreground and background, if in this case, light comes from top right, so your foreground, which is your object, the light will be at the same side with the light. In this case, the light it's gonna have like here around about this part here, but your background is gonna be in the opposite. Okay, so this is why I make like darker background here to emphasize the lightness from this part. And I know my background here is pretty light, so I create a little bit darker shadow here. So I'm not sure in other country, but in Thailand, my teacher always used the term push and pull. Then Now I'm gonna paint the stalk here. I'm using Viridian Green, and Viridian Green is cool, very cool green. But in this painting, some part it's quite warm. So to unify the color, you can use your main color and mix into your new color. In this case, it's green. I'm gonna add lavender into it as well. And the part that close to the focal point, you can see more color.
Belle would like to know if you consider this technique negative painting.
It depends. It depends. It depends on what is your main part. So if my main part is this orchid, yes, this the way that I do the background is the negative painting. Yeah, but if my orchid I think if this petal here, this is my main part, and I paint on it, and when I paint the shadow on this orchid around this petal here, this orchid, this white orchid, it can be the negative part for me. So it depends on your main part. Is that confusing you? If confusing, just tell me.
It's not confusing to me. We'll watch the chat. How about that?
Okay.
Bill has a really good question. He said,
Yep.
how did you protect your white when you wet the paper with the pigment in your water in the beginning?
I just don't touch it, to be honest. Because many people they ask me as a why don't I use masking fluid, for example. For me personally, I'm gonna use masking fluid for my last choice because it creates a sharpness, like too sharp for my aesthetic. So I would prefer to just don't touch it and just let the paint bleed, not into that white area. And which means it's about your skills. It's about your knowledge that you know the behavior of your paint, the behavior of your paper. For example, if you give me a new set of paint that I have never used it, I can't do this thing. I can't. Or if you give me a new brand of paper, which I haven't used before, I need to practice. I can't like immediately do this effectively. I can't. So yeah, skill.
So basically what you're saying is you protect your whites from yourself.
Yes. Yes.
That's what I'm hearing. Love it.
Called planning ahead.
Yeah. This is some tip to unify other part that links to your main part. Here, this is the stock is green, right? I normally add the main color into it, just a little bit. You see? It doesn't give you like the huge or obvious differences, but it gives you more harmony. It harmonizes the whole piece. This is just a little thing that I always use in my painting. The idea is you see like this petal, this color, it's like a light bulb, and the stalk, there's a violet light bulb here. That's why it reflects purple. Sorry, reflect violet. into this side of the stalk. So this is the idea.
So we only have a couple of minutes left, and Dorothy's asking, will you please show how you define the flower petals, please? So I'm guessing we've seen kind of how you protect the whites and how you're getting this really ethereal look. So we're really excited to see how you define those petals.
Define or refine?
So right now they're really soft. I'm guessing the question is like, are you going to make hard edges at all in these flowers?
Yeah. Yes. I'll do when it's a little bit drier. Because again, if there's water, there's a chance that the paint will bleed. So I need to wait. While I'm waiting, I'm gonna work on this area. Let me get my hair dryer. It's a secret tube.
I was gonna ask.
I normally, when I want to do some part and enrich the sharpness, I just paint water in that area. Because the nature of watercolor, it will bleed in the area, only the area which is wet. I don't normally paint directly on the paper because it gives like very dark line at the edge. So I paint just pure water and then just dip the paint and let it bleed to the edge here. So for me, the paint will bleed evenly. And so this is it's kind of like the whole idea how I implement since my color palette, my reference image, and throughout the sketches until the finished piece, like in the simplified version, let's say. But there's another tip as well, another tip in terms of signing your piece. Many of my students, I know what they achieve. They proud of those work, and sometimes they sign very close or make your signatures too obvious to the painting. But of course, it needs to be recognized who made this piece, right? But imagine if I sign Navin like so big, like capital here. You're gonna see my signature first before my painting, but I put so much effort on my painting, not my signature. I just want to present my painting more than my signature. So I'm gonna sign like very close to the corner, just kind of like hide it a little bit. And the technique that I sign, I learned from Yuko Nakayama. She used a pencil to sign. But for me, I worry that, oh, if someone come get my painting and get some eraser and erase it, what will happen? Fortunately and thankfully, I studied printmaking before. So if the paper is wet and you give some kind of pressure, it's gonna give like the permanent mark on your paper. So in this case, my paper is still wet. Then I'm gonna use like hard pencil and just sign it. And the good thing is, you see, from the overall picture again, you don't see my signature first. You see my orchid first. Okay, but you see something here. If you're curious, oh, who made this? You can draw your eyes a little bit closer to this corner. And then because the paper is wet, when you use your pencil, the darkness of your pencil is gonna be pretty light. Yeah, so I'm a detail person, so I find like this detail, and I just want to share with you in case that's useful and beneficial. So yeah, this is the whole process. I hope it's not too fast.
Oh my gosh, no, this is wonderful. And also your signature is so beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Love it. And also, so would you consider this painting completely finished or do you have more to do?
If I have time, I'm
Would,
gonna create some sharpness here and splash some water, some dots on it. But again, I don't normally like mix paint. I just splash. I splash
okay,
just pure water, and then to see which one it goes, it emphasizes or gives another flavor, a little bit of flavor into my painting, and then I add color into that water.
that's
So
amazing.
if I
Oh,
do
thank
that
you so
part,
much.
it might take like another 15 minutes.
Yes. Could you maybe like when you get this finished, could you post it on your Instagram, on your socials, and tag
Sure.
us so we can share it?
Sure.
Amazing. And also we had somebody painting along. Anna, would you like to show your
Oh,
work?
really?
Yeah. We'll have Ethel switch over to Anna so we can see.
There. Look at
Thank you, Navin, so much.
Wow.
This was beautiful. Thank
Thank
you.
you. I didn't realize that someone's like painting alongside me, so thank you so much. Ooh,
You
mm,
are a wonderful
Marty,
teacher.
thank you.
Marty
Oh
as
my goodness.
well.
Yes.
Thank
Who
you.
else? Let's
Oh,
see.
Marty's here. Hi, Marty.
Hi, Marty.
Hi, everybody. Thank you,
Marty.
Naveen. I love
Yay.
it.
And yeah, even though in my workshop I used to teach this painting in my workshop as well, but again I emphasize the process. So the workshop is like I show like every step that I make this painting, and I encourage them to apply. So for example, my recipe here, but you want to adjust some part of it, go for it. Like if you want to have more blue on your background, or you want to have this part more colorful, go for it. Okay, because we everyone has our own gift, right? And we can't copy everyone else. Rather than copying, we just celebrate what we have, the gift we have inside us.
Mm.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you so
Thank
much,
you.
Thank
Navin.
you.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
everybody,
Very
for being
emotional.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you.
All right.
I'm so pleased to see a lot of people I didn't realize.
You're very sweet. You're an excellent teacher.
Thank
Yes.
you.
That's amazing.
And if you need any support or feedback or anything, just reach out to me Or if you have something that you want to share, just please feel free to reach out to me or contact me, because when I first started I share with you, I used to hate watercolor and there was no one to give me like the proper answer. And I know how bitter it was. And at least I'm in the position that I can support you guys. So if you struggle or if you find like Navin can be useful in some way, just contact me.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much. All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here, and we'll see you all next week. And thank you again,
Yeah.
Navin.
Thank you,
Thank
Ashley, for
Wonderful
you.
being
weekend.
host.
Bye,
Yay.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
everybody.